All right, so let's get into this game. Bengals Browns, the Battle of Ohio. That's the whole reason this podcast exists. So, tell me what you think, Thomas. What are some keys for the Browns to win this week? What do the Browns have to do to get another result like they did last time when the Browns beat the Bengals 35 to 30 a couple weeks ago?
I think it's just confidence. The Browns gotta get their confidence back. I think one thing that we're gonna see the key to the games and the key to this game and the key to the last game is gonna be the Browns defense. Can excuse me, Miles Garrett get early penetration on the Bengals offensive line? Now I'm not sure I'm not sure the defense is gonna be able to adjust Joe Burrow the second time around better than the first time around, or is Joe Burrow going to have the edge in the defense? He's going to be just better against our defense because Joe Burrow did look better at the end of that game than the beginning of that game. So what we're going to need early penetration from Miles Garrett. For me, it's all about our defense. I think our offense is going to put up about 30 points, but it's about our defense to preventing you guys' offense from putting up 30 points because our defense can easily give up 30 points. And if our defense don't perform well, then we will lose that game. I know everybody want to blame Baker Mayfield, but one thing you guys got to remember, it was our defense that let the Bengals back in the game during week 2. It was our defense that let the Dallas Cowboys back in the game, and it was our defense that let the Colts back in the game. So what comes down to this game isn't on offense, guys. Believe it or not, it's not number 6. It's all about Miles Garrett. Can Miles Garrett get early penetration to get in Joe Burrow's head and make the rookie quarterback make mistakes? If that doesn't happen, then it might be a long week for y'all Cleveland Browns
Not to
fans.
mention, last time we played, y'all dropped 35 on us. So it's I agree. I definitely don't think that out of the two units, I think I mean we dropped 30, so that was a high scoring game last time. That would lead me to believe that in both cases the defensive units were the big problem. But I gotta agree. The trenches when the Bengals are on offense is going to be a big part of this game. Now the Bengals offensive line has been horrible this year. Philadelphia, we gave up like 8 sacks. Joe Burrow's just been getting hit after hit after hit after hit. Although the last time we played the Browns, I mean, Bobby Hart looked kind of silly. Miles Garrett had a pretty decent game, but Joe Burrow only got sacked 3 times. And Joe Burrow throughout the games has been looking better and better every time. So he's starting to get the ball out a little bit faster. He's starting to make quicker decisions. And there have been a couple of mistakes that have gone along with it, but we expect that out of a rookie quarterback. Um,
Uh,
but the thing is, if Joe Burrow and the offensive line can play off of each other a little bit better this week, then I think from an offensive perspective, we could have another, 30 plus point game like we had last time. It's really just going to depend on the defense holding things down, which they've kind of been, up and down, kind of inconsistent with. For me, I think the biggest thing is going to be the Bengals got to contain Kareem Hunt, because y'all don't have Nick Chubb, and I know
yep.
who's that other running back you have? He's
Dearness Johnson.
who?
Dearness Johnson.
Dearness Johnson, yeah. He's not a complete scrub. I mean, he's somebody we definitely gotta try to pay attention to. But Kareem Hunt is the main objective here, and if we can contain Kareem Hunt, then we can force Baker Mayfield hopefully into getting in his own head, which has I'm a Baker Mayfield believer, even as a Bengals fan. But I do think that that's one thing that he's kind of had a problem with over the course of his whole career is getting in his own head. And he's got a better coach now, so better coaching should be able to help him get out of it. But it hasn't it hasn't translated every single week. Um, the past 2 weeks alone, he's been sacked 5 times and has thrown 4 interceptions. And if we can just get a slice of that pie, then the Bengals are going to have an opportunity, I think, here to uh, really make him do something that's going to give us a huge advantage.
Well, the Browns are missing one of their best offensive linemen, Wyatt Teller. Wyatt Teller is hurt, and they needed him badly last game. They also don't have Drew Forbes, so they're missing two offensive linemen. JC Treader is questionable, but he should be good. So it's very important that Wyatt Teller plays and able to play at a great level. The Browns last week, we had a lot of injuries too. We didn't have Rodney Harrison. He is out with a concussion. We didn't have Jacob Phillips. Those are two really important pieces for our defense. Matt Wilson, he only played one or two games since he came back from injury. So he's still trying to get back. He's still trying to get back into game shape. And Jarvis Landry had very severe bruised ribs. I'm not sure they said they were broken or not. I'm pretty sure they said that they were bruised. But he's probably to play. But Jarvis Landry is not 100%. So this Browns team is very banged up right now. And so it's about for us. This game is going to be a very mentally tough game for the Browns right now. They got to be very mentally tough. And for them, I think that they're a better team than the Bengals, but they can lose to the Bengals. They can lose to the Bengals easily. The Bengals can easily steal this game. So what the Browns have to do this game, they have to stay focused. Like it's all about how well are they to stay focused. You said Baker Mayfield gets in his own head. I'm going to take that one step forward. Baker Mayfield thinks too much. I think he gets out there and he just thinks too much. There was some great interviews on 92.3 The Fan where they broke down that interception. And it was just they said that it was almost basic, something that Baker Mayfield should have known not to throw there. He should have went to Odell Beckham. Now, that's one throw. I'm not going to kill Baker over one throw. But the fact of the matter is this. Baker Mayfield, you're in the third year. You have to start looking like a third-year quarterback. You have to take that next step. You have to. It's only been 6 games, and I do not think that you could evaluate a young team after 6 games because that's not a finished product. But one thing about the Browns that they have to do, they have to stay focused, they have to stay mentally tough, and they cannot get in their own head. And if they beat themselves, then Joe Burrow is going to take advantage of that because Joe Burrow, he ain't going to get in his own head. That kid is from Athens, Ohio. He ain't gonna get in his own head. He's like a shark. As soon as he see blood, he's coming after us. So we have to make sure that we do not let Joe Burrow get confidence against us. Because if he does, it's over.
It's not just Joe Burrow. I mean, Joe, you're right. Joe Burrow is, he's a shark, man. He like you said, when he smells blood, he goes after it. And if I've ever trusted a Bengals quarterback in my life, which other than 2 particular guys, it's not exactly a very high bar. But if I've ever trusted a Bengals quarterback in my life to really, galvanize everybody around him and, and really go in for the kill when he's got the opportunity, it's Joe Burrow. And I know we haven't really seen it. That was the problem, last week against the Colts is, we didn't go get the kill, But I mean, Joe Burrow's in his, this is going to be week 7 of his rookie season. It's going to take a little bit of time to develop, but you can see he's got that killer instinct. You saw it week 1 in that, what was supposed to be the game-winning drive against the Chargers. And then, AJ Green with his pass interference that was questionable. And then Randy Bullock being Randy Bullock. And then we just, we didn't end up winning a game that we were really on pace and ready to win. But Joe Burrow's keeping this team that, like you said, is not that talented of a team. I mean, there's talent, but, a lot of it's young talent that just hasn't developed yet. And a team like the Browns is, genuinely more talented than the Bengals. You guys really just on paper should win this game, and a lot of teams should be beating us. But we're in every single one of these games because we've got guys like Joe Burrow. Because, in my opinion, I think Zach Taylor is doing a really good job of coaching this team to a point where we're actually in all these games. We wouldn't be in these games with, a lesser head coach who isn't able to galvanize the players around him like this. And so that's why my last point, my last key to this game for the Bengals is going to be keeping the drama on the peripheral. We've had a lot of drama going around in at least on Bengals Twitter, on Bengals social media. A lot of fans are freaking out because, oh, Zach Taylor's losing the team. He's losing the locker room. Oh, he's a terrible head coach. We should go ahead and fire him right now. And fans are going to be fans, and you just got to deal with it sometimes. But it's getting pretty toxic in the Bengals fan base, and honestly, that's not going to get fixed until we start winning. Just because
rebuild,
the fans, they're